puppies. The most popular thing to adopt in 2020 besides its drinking habits. One of the great things about dogs is that every breed looks different. Chihuahuas look like rats that got swole. Corgis look like someone cast a spell on a loaf of bread to make it come alive. And Pomeranians, they look like something that got clogged in your drain. But one puppy born earlier this month looks more unusual than most.
And in Italy, a rare puppy is born with green fur. Take a look here. A farmer welcomed the litter of 5 dogs earlier in the month and could not believe his eyes when he saw one of the pups was in fact green. The fur was white for the other ones, like their mixed breed mom. The green fur is believed to happen when pale puppies come in contact with a green pigment in their mom's womb. The owner chose a fitting name for the pup. He decided to call it Pistachio.
Oh my God, guys, I have never seen anything this tiny, green, and cute in my grandbaby Yoda. It's not always about you. Oh, I mean, a green puppy? That's adorable. That is just adorable. I mean, unless you're that puppy's father. You know, the whole womb story sounds very scientific, but we all know that that puppy's mom is just covering up an affair she probably had with a famous frog. Also, let's be honest, this puppy's gonna have to deal with some prejudice in his life. Especially when it tries to date one of the white puppies, because those parents are going to be like, look, we just think Pistachio might be happier dating one of his own kind, like a leprechaun or a shamrock shake. But let's move on from newborn puppies to one very old cat.
And archaeologists have discovered a giant 2,000-year-old figure of a cat carved into a hillside in southern Peru. They found the 121-foot-long cat using a drone inside a UN World Heritage Site. Officials say that the cat figure was barely visible when it was first discovered, since it was on a slope and disappearing due to erosion. The carving has since been cleaned to make it more visible.
Wait. There was a giant cat carved into the hillside for 2,000 years, and we just discovered it now? How is that possible? Was it hiding behind a drawing of a sofa? I mean, I'm not trying to put anybody down, but whichever archaeologist found this thing had a very easy day of work. Think about it. Indiana Jones is inside tombs. There's death traps triangulating sunlight with ancient amulets. Meanwhile, this dude is just like, hey look, it's a big cat. I'm an archaeologist. It's also funny how even 2,000 years ago, people loved sharing cat pictures. Because I mean, what this hill basically is ancient Peruvian Facebook. I'm sure if the archaeologists look further down, they're going to start finding QAnon conspiracy theories. Apparently, Joe Biden built the Incan pyramids. But please, don't get me wrong, I'm not hating. That is an impressive work of art. And it just goes to show you that even 2,000 years ago, people had a hard time drawing the legs. They should be so easy, but they're not. You think you got them, and then you get there and you're like, God, these are not legs. I hope my parents love me because they're just gonna have to take this picture the way I drew it. And finally, some good news from the world of insects. Our tiny neighbors that eat us when we're dead. They may not be as cute as kittens, or as puppies, or anything really, but bugs can still be super impressive.
And the Associated Press says scientists are studying a certain kind of beetle's super tough shell to learn about designing stronger planes and buildings. Researchers say that the shell on what's called the diabolical ironclad beetle can't be crushed. They say that the 1-inch beetle found in Southern California's woodlands withstood compression about 39,000 times its weight. It even survived being run over by a car. The study is part of a project funded by the U.S. Air Force.
Wow, guys. That's the wonder of nature. No matter how much you've seen, it always finds new ways to terrify you. I mean, a diabolical ironclad beetle? That is the most badass name I have ever heard for a beetle. Sounds like something Godzilla gets his ass beat by. And I love how scientists can change your whole vibe just by switching up the name. You are going to be the diabolical ironclad beetle. Yes. And you will be the dung beetle. Like shit, like you're a beetle of shit. That's your vibe. And it's pretty wild that they said the diabolical ironclad beetle cannot be crushed. Although clearly that's because it's never been dumped by Stephanie. Okay, why didn't she call me? I will admit though, when I first saw the story, I thought, damn, so they just ran that beetle over with a car? Poor beetle. Scientists can just get away with anything as long as they say it's for an experiment. I'm gonna become a scientist just in case I ever get into a driving accident. Sir, did you run over that person's leg with your car? No, officer. I was conducting an experiment, all right? And it worked. The car makes people go, ow. It's called science.